How's it going? We're talking about the sexiest fragrances on women. So if you are trying to make men or lesbians weak in the knees, these are the fragrances, and these are not just my opinions. This is a culmination of responses and DMs that I've received from men saying that these are the ones that still have them in a chokehold, from lesbians, and also from women that share stories about them getting railed. So these are the most popular fragrances that do the job and are me approved, if that matters to you. The first one I am going to mention is Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. And like I've said time and time again, if you have a praise kink, why are you not wearing this fragrance? It's super sexy. This is a scent that's a head turner, a great beginner's fragrance if you don't know what to wear and you are just looking for a sexy fragrance. That's it. Then get this one. There's about 30 notes in this fragrance, and I have an individual review on this if you want to watch that, but I will tell you right now that if you look up the notes of this fragrance, you're going to see so many, and honestly, it doesn't even really smell like that. You're going to see chocolate in there. You're going to see white florals, but this, I don't know, it just smells like a clusterfuck of sexiness. That's all I'm going to say about it. Very versatile fragrance, and it does perform really well, but you can get nose blind to this scent, which is normal. So don't think it's not performing on you. I promise you it is. Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. Next is Light Blue Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. This fragrance does get a lot of hate, mainly from women, but it's not really so much hate. It's just that, like, you know, when something's popular, people will always dog on it, all right? But this fragrance right here, there's a reason why, in my opinion, it's still the best summertime fragrance on the feminine side with standard designer fragrances, because it pulls its weight. It smells like lemon, apple, and musk. It's an irresistible fragrance, very unisex in my opinion, but the reason this is on this list is not just because of the multiple DMs I've received from people saying that, holy shit, I smelled this on a girl and she smelled so good, I loved it so much, but because when people came to smell fragrances in my collection, both guys and girls, when they picked this one up, they smelled it and they're like, oh man, that smells really, really nice. And when I asked them, what's your favorite out of all that you've smelled? And mind you, they smelled all the niche, the designers, and they pointed to this one. They're like, the Dolce & Gabbana one is really, really nice. So if you live in warm weather, this is a no-brainer. And honestly, I still get complimented on this fragrance 7 hours after I wear it. So for a fresh fragrance, that typically, for the most part, in its category, lasts for about like 4 to 6 hours. That's usually what freshies are known, like their lasting power, that's what they're known to last for. This one outperforms a lot of fresh fragrances. Dolce & Gabbana, Light Blue Intense. Next, here it is. It's a smaller one, but the fragrance is called Versace Bright Crystal. And this scent is something that I found out because I got a lot of requests to smell this fragrance, all right? There was a lot of guys, a lot of girls saying that, hey, I wore this scent on a date and the guy was just going crazy over it. And I did get a lot of DMs from men as well saying that I had to ask this girl what she was wearing on our date because it was just super intoxicating. So Versace Bright Crystal is this fresh fragrance. It smells like pomegranates. There's lotus and magnolia. And if you are, I don't know, like if you're attracted to women, lesbians also messaged me about this fragrance. They were like, the femme I was dating was wearing this Versace fragrance and I just couldn't get enough of it. So if you are looking for that nose to the neck type of scent to wear on a warm day, if you're going out for lunch, you're looking hot, you're looking sexy, and you're looking for a fragrance to complement all of that, please try that scent. I'm going to put all the names of the fragrances, discount site links that ship globally, and samples in the description to help you save money. But of course, buy where you're comfortable. If you want to support the channel, I appreciate that. But yeah, this one, a total banger. All right, we're going to talk about a niche fragrance that I cannot get enough of. It's called Angel Share by Killian. And this fragrance redefines the meaning of like pulling, like alluring and just pulling people in. Because if you're a fan of sweet scents, if you want to smell like a boozy cinnamon roll, this is the scent that you get because it has that head-turning type of reaction. It's very long-lasting. We're talking over 10 hours. It's kind of like, if remember when you go to the mall and you smell Cinnabon or Auntie Annie's, that is what this fragrance is, just a sexier version of it. So if you're looking for a fragrance that's literally gonna make people's mouths water, that is gonna have people just turning heads every single time you pass by on a nice cold day, if you're going clubbing, Angel Share is the way to go. I have never met a person that has hated Angel Share. I think the only people that didn't really like it were the ones that were wearing it because it was a bit too intense for them. And of course, skin chemistry does matter. But as far as people that have smelled this on others, it's all been love with Angel Share, all right? That is my favorite Killian fragrance. And we're gonna turn it over more here to the other niche scents. And this is a unique one that I always recommend. It's called Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. And it's an ISO E super fragrance, which pretty much all this really does is it enhances your natural skin chemistry. So if you're someone that really doesn't want to smell like anybody else, you don't want to chance it whatsoever, and at the same time, you don't want to smell like you're wearing a fragrance, this is that scent. You know what I mean? Because out of all the fragrances in my collection, this is the one that has gotten me the most curious compliments, where they're kind of like, you smell nice, and it's posed as a question and the eyebrow was lifted because it's kind of like they don't think I'm wearing a fragrance, so they're kind of complimenting the way that my skin smells, but I didn't just come out of the shower. You know, it's one of those weird type of things that they're like, is it weird that I'm complimenting you about this right now? But this is a very addictive scent. I remember there was a guy that actually, I think it was a YouTube comment or an Instagram DM, and he said that he went on a date with this girl and he had no idea what she was wearing. They were sitting at the bar and he just could not get enough of her smell. He was like, she just smelled so sexy, super intoxicating. And then he went back to her place and he went to the bathroom and he saw this on her bathroom sink and stuff like that, which I don't recommend to keep your fragrances there. I made a video as to why that is. But then he asked her, hey, are you wearing like that Molecule 01 fragrance? And she's like, yeah, that's what I was wearing tonight. So this is just a fragrance that drives people feral. But again, totally depends on your skin chemistry. Some people don't even smell it. Some people don't smell the best when they wear it. So just kind of keep that in mind. But in terms of niche fragrances, this is definitely more on the affordable side. Let me just check real fast if this thing is still recording because it's been given out on me. All right, we're good. Next, the queen. The queen. I was going to say good girl. Nah. Delina by Parfums de Marly is not to be played with. All right, and if you've been watching a lot of fragrance videos lately and you've been seeing this pop up and you're like, huh, is that fragrance overrated? I'm hearing a lot of people talk about it, blah, 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 blah. I will tell you right now, niche fragrances are not overrated. There's probably one, and I'm going to share it with you in this video. But if we are talking about you going to a party, a bar, a club, and wearing a niche scent, I promise you, other people around you, 99% of people around you, are going to be rocking more designer fragrances, and they have never heard of a niche scent, let alone something like Parfums de Marly, unless maybe this went viral on TikTok or something. But this fragrance holds its own weight. It smells so damn good. It smells like lychee and rhubarb. Now, lychee is a more exotic fruit, juicy fruit sort of smell, but rhubarb is a little bit of a sour scent. But to be honest, this fragrance never smelled sour to me. When I've worn it, when I've smelled it on other women, it just smelled it has me in a chokehold till this day. This scent right here is just equally as regal as it is sexy, all right? If you're looking for that classy, sexy, sophisticated fragrance that's very versatile, that has great performance, because this performs over 8 hours, you will smell this on yourself all day, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna save my money to buy a niche fragrance that's gonna be a one size fits all, where you can wear it anywhere, then Delina is a no-brainer, all right? Especially if you're making that transition from designer scents into niche, or if you just want to jump right into niche and rock a fragrance that you know is going to pull, that's going to give you confidence because you're going to be smelling really sexy. Delina. I mean, look at the bottle. It's really nice too. Now, I will say, if you live in colder weather, they do have a Delina exclusive, which is a bit milkier, but I still suggest the OG. you can still wear this even in really cold weather. It just has really good performance, so it won't let you down in that regard. Next is going to be, oh, this one makes me weak in the knees. It's called Rose Blanche by Precious Liquid. And my girlfriend wore this when we went for a walk in the park. And this was just flowing. If you're a fan of fragrances like springtime in a park, you like the fresh floral scents, then please give this one a try. And I'm gonna reassure you right now that yes, it says rose, but the rose in this fragrance is not mature. It's not dated. It's not gonna remind you of your grandmother, okay? This is another great versatile fragrance to wear on warm days that is fresh and clean, but there was something about it when she was wearing this scent that I just could not get enough of. Like when the wind was blowing and I would smell her, I would just keep getting closer to her. And I kept telling her, I'm like, you smell sexy. Like what, I didn't know what she was wearing. I thought she was layering a couple other things. And then she told me later that she grabbed this from my collection and she decided to wear it. But I was like, damn, that shit smelled really nice. It still does, yeah. Got a fresh floral fragrance. Rose Blanche. Rose Blanche. All right, we're gonna kick it with a couple more sweet ones to round off this list. Intense Cafe by Montal. I can't not talk about this fragrance because this has a great track record. I will start there, okay? This is a coffee rose fragrance. The rose is a bit more dominant in this scent, and then the coffee plays second fiddle, but the kind of DMs I have received from people telling me about their night when they've worn this or when they smelled this on the person they hooked up with or their partner was just some like very honest stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll say about it, okay? This is a fragrance for some reason that just drives people wild when they smell it. And you know what? I'm not the biggest fan when I wear this, but I will say when I have tested this fragrance out, whenever I hug somebody and they smell this on me, those hugs last for a long time. So if you're somebody that's big on physical touch, like if you like the long hugs, then throw this one on because it's a very cozy fragrance. It's welcoming, it's approachable, but at the same time, the more you smell it, the more and more it draws you in. And performance is amazing with Montal fragrances. We're talking plus 10 hours, all right? And lastly, is the fragrance I kind of hinted with when I was talking about Delina. It's Baccarat Rouge 540. And so many people ask me, is it still worth it? Is it still worth it? And for me, I don't find it to be as worth it just because there's so many clones of it now. And that's not the fault of the fragrance, all right? That just means that a lot of brands saw how successful it was, so they wanted to make a cheaper version of it so they can sell and make a lot of money, right? But the reason this is on this list is because you can't deny the supernova status of this fragrance. And you have to remember that there's a reason why it's super popular and there's a reason why it's skyrocketed in every single possible way, because at the end of the day, it's a really good fragrance. It's this sort of sweet cotton candy type of scent that keeps people like wanting more. You know what I mean? Now, yes, this might be a bit more common when you're going to the clubs because this did go viral on TikTok, but you know what? Like if you're somebody that doesn't care too much about being unique, I mean, the whole point of this video was a sexy fragrance, then Baccarat Rouge will do that. And if you want to be unique, this is a great fragrance that you can layer with other things. So if you want this smell, but you want to put your own kind of twist to it, you can experiment with other perfumes and it's going to smell amazing. This is a huge compliment getter till this day. It's the most popular niche fragrance. Yeah, I think that this is more popular than Creed Aventus in my opinion. People know this bottle. They're very familiar with the smell, but just can't deny the greatness of it. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I'll put the names of the fragrances, the discount site links, the samples, all of that in the description to help save you some money if you want to support the channel. But of course, please buy where you're comfortable. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.